Yes, 1 year ago, everything was growing inside. Backed up months ago, it is getting harder each time. I think I hear you now, turning as a calling reach out.
In China, there are private versus public healthcare, but within private, there are also, I would call it mid-end versus higher-end private healthcare. That makes sense, where they would charge more, maybe it's tailored more for foreigners. The place you're seeing right now, I would consider a mid-end, where the locals, if they can afford a little bit more, they can come to a place like this instead of waiting for hours on end for the public service. However, this is very business-oriented. I feel like it was just one step after the next. They spent most of the time selling you other products, convincing you that they are the best, and will try and find something to make money off of you for. However, do be mindful and judgmental of what you're being told. Verify, trust but verify. But in this case, I don't even know if I should be trusting them at all, as their main objective is to make money off of you. During our checkup, they were kind of exaggerating certain levels, the danger of it. But once I VPN and just Googled the information, I realized it's actually a normal process. Although it's a little bit on the lower end, it's nothing to be afraid of. And even the range that they tell me of what's normal, it's different from what an American doctor would consider dangerous. So at the time, we did end up getting some supplements, medicine, but it made me very, very ill. And after I researched, I stopped taking the pill they suggested.
Did you know I sleep on the floor every night?
Hong Kong being the place where we decided to give birth, this is the doctor we have chosen for our baby. It is definitely a one-stop shop. All the checkups and everything, it's followed up by one doctor, one clinic, except for some major tests where you might be referred elsewhere. But blood tests, simple things, basically this is the place you'll be going. Each time it costs approximately like $2,000 Hong Kong dollar. It's not cheap at all, but at least there's one person following your case from checkup until the actual delivery. And how it works in Hong Kong is that you choose doctor and then they'll tell you where they can practice. So during your delivery, which hospital they are associated with, and then you pick a hospital that way. So it's really the doctor you're choosing. Obviously, there will be wonderful doctors, whether it's in Hong Kong, China, or North America. It really depends on luck, I believe, in a certain way, because although this doctor, I feel like she's very professional in her medical knowledge. The fact that she booked a vacation 1 week after my expected delivery date, and the fact that she didn't tell me the entire time until I saw her schedule one time during a checkup. Then I inquired about it, and she said, you know what, if it really doesn't happen, you don't get delivered by the time, we can always induce labor. But I didn't think it was a smart idea. I want a natural delivery. Why would I induce labor just because you're on your vacation with your family? I equally think my child's life is just as important. The incident that we had during the time that we had to deliver, which I have another video going more in-depthly, the fact that my doctor stood in the room while my baby's heart rate was dropping, pressuring us to make a decision of, let's induce labor. And the fact that she told me on the spot, you're bleeding right now, your baby's heart rate dropped, I cannot come back every time you have a scare. But the fact that she didn't even give us a few minutes on our own to make up our decision, and this being our first child, I felt like the way her behavior to me was very unacceptable and very high pressure. One of the main reasons why we chose this doctor to begin with is that she is a referral, highly referred by her friends, saying that she likes natural delivery. She's unlike other doctors, which in Hong Kong, it's very typical. They would actually suggest people making a cut instead of a tear, which makes sense to me. However, I do want to attempt if I'm delivering them naturally anyways. So there are a lot of factors that I believe this doctor was well suited with where we stand and how we want to proceed with our delivery. However, it's during unique times where there are unexpected situations happening, or when her vacation actually arises right when I'm expected to deliver, that's when the problem arises. The fact that she was telling me if she's going on vacation before it's time for me to deliver, she was suggesting me that I can always use another doctor. I suggested meeting that doctor. She refused passing me the referral, at least for me to meet this doctor who might be delivering my baby. And moreover, she was just telling me to induce labor all along. She said it's not a big deal, but honestly, I didn't want that. If it's a natural delivery, I want her to come when it's time, not when it's her vacation time. To say the least, trust was lost between my doctor and I, but I was so far along that I had nowhere else to turn. So for those of you who might be encountering similar situation, I wish the best of luck for you, but do be careful. In Hong Kong, they do have experience, they do know what they're doing. They are very afraid of liability as well, so they will do everything by the book. However, when you are, I guess in a way, well known or well connected with this particular doctor, at times your benefits, your well-being will be trumped by other things that might be more important to them, whether it's their own vacation time or whether it's other concerns they might have. So it's very, I guess, realistic. In Asia especially, that's how I feel. You not only need a little bit of money to get the better service, but also you need status, you need power, things that actually would become very, very helpful during times like this as well. United Family Healthcare of Beijing, it's very well known. When we went, it was during a time where we're supposed to do a more in-depth checkup, measuring the head circumference, the length and all of that. So it was actually relatively simple. There wasn't much wait time. It still cost a lot. I believe it was either 4,000 RMB. And at the time, because we were not long-term patients, first of all, the doctor really didn't take the time that I would have preferred to explain the situation to us. She just kind of did her own thing, gave us a report, and we were on our way. I still remember one question I asked her was, I have heard it's not safe to take bath for a pregnant lady, is it true? She's like, as long as it's not hot. And then I wanted to find out what exactly is considered hot. Is there a temperature so I can be safe? And she said, hot is hot. So as an example, this is kind of the treatment you'll be getting. This is a doctor from Harvard. She's, I believe, American, I think. And the fact that she wouldn't take one more minute to, explain certain things to us. I know I'm not a long-term patient, but I would have greatly appreciated if she can just take me seriously and just take the time to answer me. And moreover, the ultrasound wasn't actually done by the doctor, it was done by another physician, and that was very unique. She didn't even get to see any of the slides. She was just reading a document. They're not supposed to tell you the sex in China, which I understand. However, she didn't take a look at any of the scan. And the fact that we only wanted the scan to be performed anyways in the beginning, they wouldn't take our case unless we booked an official appointment with the doctor, which cost another extra 800 RMB, which is fine. But the fact that she didn't even take the time to answer a question, she was rushing us out. We were literally in and out in 5 minutes, although this is supposed to be a slightly more in-depth examination. So again, maybe if you get lucky, you meet a great doctor, you will have other experience, or maybe if you're there long term, permanently, you will also have different experience. But that's the experience that I have received. So I hope that I have given you a sense of what it's like. There are definitely pluses and minuses to any healthcare around the world, but there are certain commonalities that you might be able to be careful on or watch out for if you do encounter such situation. Thank you for tuning in today. If you're expecting to be delivering or having a baby in Asia, I do wish the best of luck for you. If you're interested in our baby bell, do check out our channel, as we do have other videos that talks more in depthly about our delivery, bringing baby home, and just little things that happen every day in our lives. Until next time.